So, and that I'll tell you where that fear comes from. Why is the person scared? Why are you scared? And I was in that space myself because it's the fear of unknown. You don't know what this journey entails. Your mind doesn't know what this journey entails. A. B. Even your family doesn't know this. Especially if you're married and have children and your spouse, and if they've not gone through the journey or your parents have not gone through the journey, then they're very scared for you as to what are you getting into.
Correct.
And they discourage you if they are not in awareness.
Correct.
And their fear is that you might lose touch with the worldly life and you will completely become a monk or renounce the worldly life, leave everything. And that's the fear which people have, right? And family members have. So that adds to the complication, that adds to the inner challenge which is going on with the person. This adds an external element which further complicates the matter for the person and further makes it difficult for the person to walk on the path.
So there's a couple of things I want to point out.
Yeah.
There are two kinds of people. One who have not figured out what they want to do in their life. The other one is who have figured it out and they're too scared to live it out.
Oh,
right?
Correct.
What kind of choices should they make, each of them, to get to the point where they would be able to do that? One is, how do you find what you like to do, which you already answered. Clear in the space and you'll automatically know. But someone who's scared to, even once they clear it, they found it, but they're still scared, then what?
Then you continue living as you are living. Because you cannot. So, and that I'll tell you where that fear comes from. Why is the person scared? Why are you scared? And I was in that space myself because it's the fear of unknown. You don't know what this journey entails. Your mind doesn't know what this journey entails and what will show up. A. B. Even your family doesn't know this. Especially if you're married and have children and your spouse, and if they've not gone through the journey or your parents have not gone through the journey, then they're very scared for you as to what are you getting into.
Correct.
And they discourage you.
Yeah.
Right? So there's complete lack of encouragement.
Correct.
From your loved and near ones if they are not in awareness.
Correct.
Right? And so that's the second element which stops you from going into the journey, right? And their fear is that you might lose touch with the worldly life and you will completely become a monk or renounce the worldly life and you will kind of leave everything. And that's the fear which people have, right? And family members have. So that adds to the complication, that adds to the inner challenge which is going on with the person. This adds an external element which adds to the further complicates the matter for the person and further makes it difficult for the person to walk on the path.
Yes, it does.
So how does one get past the scare or the fear, right?
Yeah.
I've gone through this journey myself, right? So there are two steps. So basically your spiritual journey, it happens in stages, right?
Correct.
And it happens in a very unique manner for everyone person. But still there are significant milestones which are very similar for everyone, most
Correct.
people.
Correct.
So one milestone is becoming aware of what you really want to do and what you're calling and all of that.
Correct.
Second milestone is actually acting on it.
Correct.
And there is what we are discussing right now.
Yeah.
And the fear that comes with it and all of that. Even I had this.
Yeah.
When I was an investment banker, I had my own investment bank and things were going wonderfully well for me. And there was inner calling and inner realization to do something else. And I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Right? What was I to do? I didn't even know that. And so logically, after putting in so many years of hard work, now I was getting the benefits of it or reaping the rewards of it. So I didn't want to stop it. I didn't want to stop my investment banking. But there was an internal manthan or internal churning that happened.
Yeah.
And I had to but listen to this, to my inner voice. Because when I was not listening to this, putting it under the carpet, I was becoming restless from within. There was a time where I couldn't sleep for a month.
Oof.
At night properly because this was constantly going on within me. That's when I surrendered. And I said, I leave it to you. Whatever path you show me, Creator, I will follow. because I can't take this. This pain of churning is too much for me. So I was not the kind of guy who readily came into this, happily walked into it, because at that point of time I was heavily influenced by the worldly norms of success, the worldly norms of living, and how the world normally lives right now in terms of what is success. And I was heavily influenced by my definition of success was completely linked with how the world thinks and operates in terms of money and wealth and all those parameters, the normal worldly parameters of success. So it was very difficult for me to let go of these and then move into this. So it was not easy for me. And I didn't walk in voluntarily. I was made to walk in by the universe and the consciousness, or my own soul, or my higher self, whichever name you want to call it. And I remember that point, which is the point of surrender. And it didn't stop there. I had continuous doubts about this journey even for 2 years after that.
Yeah.
Or even for 3-4 years after that, at different points of time. The doubt kept kind of creeping in whether I'm doing the right thing, because everybody else around me was doing something else. And everybody was questioning what I was doing, and nobody had a kind of, except my wife Sandhya and my children, nobody else had kind of a faith in. So I remember that point wherein I ultimately surrendered. And not only surrendered, I took a leap of faith. Faith into the unknown.
Yeah.
And when I took that leap of faith, suddenly all doors opened up for me. One after the other, things started opening up. Still there were challenges. It was not as if it was a challenge-free journey. Still I go through challenges of my own, and I'm constantly working with my own self to keep healing parts of me. And once I heal a part of myself, and another part of myself is shown to me, which I was not aware of earlier. My conscious mind was not aware of. And then I healed that. So it's a constant journey that's been happening, but it's been nothing short of
miraculous.
It's been nothing short of miracle, a divine magic being played out, and nothing short of absolute grace and kindness and love flowing through from the Creator and through the Creator, and nothing short of deep gratification. I would say. Right. So that's what it is.
Interesting. So it calls from within. And then after that, you take a step. And you know what's funny? The funniest thing is the whole family who will, until that point, will tell you what will happen. It's the scariest thing. This will happen, that will happen. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. When you start doing it, their whole perspective shifts, and they'll be like, actually, you know what? It's actually done well. Good job. And until you do it, take the first step, their perspective will be fear. And once you take the step, their perspective will change to appreciation. Even if it takes time, eventually they'll get there. And that's the beauty of this. I've seen this over and over again with multiple things. Yeah.
So the art is to have faith.
Yes.
And have wisdom.
Yes.
And wisdom.
Yeah.
And have that gumption and that belief in your inner voice, in the inner guidance that's coming to, and following it no matter how illogical it is.
Correct. I for a long time thought I was going crazy. And it happens. But it happened to you. You know these experiences happened to you. You know that there's value in what you're doing. And the path is unfolding in front of your eyes. Even if no one is understanding it, you can see it happen. And
so there are two choices you have when you're scared. A, you can choose to delay the path.
Yeah.
And the more you delay, the more dis-ease you'll experience. The more disharmony you'll experience in your life.
Yeah.
Because the dis-ease is a wake-up call. It's a message to you that please come back and follow what is being shown to you. Please follow your inner guidance. Please follow your inner voice. If you don't follow, then the universe increases the volume of the message.
Correct.
By increasing the disease and disharmony. A strong slap is given, a strong, very difficult situation is created for you.
Yeah.
Which is very painful and hurtful. And then again, that's a louder message. And if you don't listen to that, then a volume is further increased.
Even further increased, yeah.
That's how the universe operates, so that you do what's in alignment with your higher self.
Correct.
When the time is right.
The sooner you do it, the better,
It
the
is.
quicker and better it is.
The less disease and disharmony you'll experience. Otherwise,
Correct.
your life situations will become more disease, more disharmonious, more painful, more hurtful.
Yeah.
And go through a lot of disease. These 4 diseases alone account for 80% of all healthcare expenditure in US. Can you imagine the volume? The healthcare expenditure of US is around $4.5 trillion. 80% of that is around $3.6 trillion. Is bigger than the GDP of India, which is the 5th largest economy in the world. US is spending more than the GDP of India on treating these 4 diseases only.
That's horrible.
And it doesn't stop here. Look at the beauty of this. Still, 2 out of every 3 deaths that are happening in US are because of these 4 diseases. So what does it show you? That clearly the current modern medicine is not adept at handling lifestyle diseases or chronic diseases.